the normal protocol.
First of all, allow me to welcome all the management from Independent Office of Evaluation, IFAD, the Government of Laos, PDR, IFAD, and also related country partners to join the final workshops on country strategy and program evaluation for Laos, jointly organized by Independent Office of Evaluation, IFAD, and the Government of Laos, PDR. Please note that the main objectives of these national workshops are to assess the performance and results of IFAD strategy and operations in Laos, PDR, as outlined in the course of, and to generate findings and recommendations for IFAD upcoming country strategy and in partnership with the governments of Laos, PDR, and also to identify lessons learned that can be shared on the IFAD presence and interventions in Laos and other countries. Please note that joining to the meetings are Dr. Indrans Naidu, Director, Independent Office of Evaluation, IFAD. Please welcome him. Madam Sifong Umavong, Deputy Director General of Finance Department, Ministries of Finance. Ms. Lihana Rasa, Regional Director, Asia and Pacific Division, Department of Country Operation, IFAD. Please welcome. Dr. Pomi Intajak, Deputy Director General, Departments of Planning and Cooperation, Ministries of Agriculture and Forestry. Please welcome. Mr. Ambrosio Balos, IFAD Country Director for Laos, PDR, and Head of IFAD Mekong Multi-Country Office. Please welcome. Mr. Paulo, Lead Evaluation Officers, Independent Office of Evaluation, IFAD. In addition, importantly, there are also key management from related government agencies and also related country demo partners online connected, namely ADB, FAO, World Food Program, World Bank, UNDP, and also Laos Farmer Association. To formally start the session, it's my honor and pleasure to invite Dr. Indrans Naidu, Director, Independent Office of Evaluation, IFAD, to deliver opening remarks. Dr. Indrans, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Distinguished representatives of the Government of Laos, representatives of IFAD's partner institutions and international organizations, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to participate in this National Roundtable Workshop organized by the Independent Office of Evaluation of IFAD in collaboration with the Government of the Laos People's Democratic Republic and the Asia-Pacific Regional Division of IFAD. This workshop follows the finalization of the Laos Country Strategy and Program Evaluation implemented in 2024 that I was privileged to join in person. The workshop provides the opportunity to share the main findings and discuss the implications of recommendations with the Government of IFAD representatives as well as other stakeholders of the IFAD-supported strategy and program in Laos. I would like to start by expressing my appreciation to the government officials and relevant stakeholders for the collaboration on this evaluation. Our appreciation goes to the project teams and partner organizations for sharing insights, contributing to gather information during the field mission, and responding to numerous requests for data and information from the evaluation team. I would also like to recognize the contribution of the IFAD's Department of Country Operations.
What did you do? Join audio. Okay.
In particular, Mr. Donald Brown, Associate Vice President and Head of the Department, Ms. Lihana Rasa, Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, Mr. Ambrosio Barros, Country Director and Head of the Mekong Multi-Country Office, Ms. Rochelle Achisa, IFAD Program Officer and Sub-Regional Team, as well as the Regional Team of the Asia and Pacific Division. Finally, I would like to thank the evaluation team, led by our former colleague, Ms. Johanna Penez, followed by Mr. Paulo Silveri, Lead Evaluation Officer and Chief of Section for Project and Cluster Evaluations, as well as the team of national and international consultants who worked on the CSPE. Ms. Nene Etem provided efficient and effective administrative support to the team and to the organization of today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, in the first place, let me highlight the importance of the independent evaluation function at IFAD. The Fund's Independent Office of Evaluation undertakes impartial and evidence-based evaluations of projects, country programs, thematic and corporate matters to assess the results achieved and to generate lessons to enhance the impact of IFAD-supported operations. IFAD cooperates with the government of Laos since 1979 through 17 projects valued at $509 million, of which $164.8 million from IFAD resources and the balance from co-financing. This is the first country strategy and program evaluation ever conducted by IFAD in Laos. It covers 2 country strategy or COSOP periods between 2011 and 2023 included. During these 13 years, IFAD financed 9 investment projects for a total value of US $341.8 million, out of which US $118 million were financed through IFAD loans and grants. The evaluation found that the country strategy and program was successful in contributing to achieving government strategic priorities by addressing fragility triggers in rural areas such as sustainable land and natural resource management, support services and farming systems, resilience, food security and nutrition, access to markets and value chains, and rural finance. Through effective commitment and ownership by the government, the program contributed to enhancing the resilience of ecosystems and livelihoods in remote rural areas of Laos. As such, the partnership with IFAD contributed to 1. Improving community development, food and nutrition security, and smallholder resilience to natural shocks, and 2. Promoting women's access to rural finance and gender transformative approaches through labor-saving interventions and the development of a gender nutrition nexus. On the other hand, some areas deserve attention, as for instance, 1. Comprehensive, sustainable approaches to small-scale infrastructure and climate resilience have yet to be found. 2. Limited in-country presence in the second half of the evaluated period curtailed IFAD's earlier partnerships and policy engagements' potential benefits. 3. Producer group sustainability could improve if better linked to stable financial services. Furthermore, the lack of outcome evidence for various strategic pathways limits government and IFAD's capacity to measure results, assess operations effectiveness, and course correct their joint action for better program effectiveness. As evaluators, we have provided an impartial assessment of IFAD's country strategy and program in Laos since 2011. With this event and with your contribution, we can gain a better understanding of future opportunities and ways to overcome constraints preventing the achievement of inclusive rural transformation and enhance small farmers' resilience in rural areas of Laos. I thank you for your attention and wish you a fruitful discussion today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indan, for such comprehensive remarks. Next, I'm very honored to invite Ms. Sipong Omavong, Deputy Director General, External Finance Department, Ministries of Finance, to deliver opening remarks. Over to you, Ms. Omavong.
Good afternoon. Mr. Indian Noidu, Director of Independence Office of Evaluations, IFAD. Ms. Lihana Rasa, Regional Director, Asia and Pacific Division, Department of Country Operations, IFAD. Mr. Ambassador Barros, IFAD Country Director for Laos PDR. Leaders from government, like ministries concerned, colleagues from country development, partner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to participate in and delivers the opening remark at the final national workshop on the country strategies and program evaluation for Laos. This workshop is joint organized by Independent Office for Evaluation IFAD and the Government of Laos PDR, led by Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. With full attendance concerned governments, line ministries, project management teams, and key country development partners. First of all, on behalf of the government of Laos PDR, I would like to express our sincere thanks and gratitude to the Independent Office of Evaluation and International Fund for Agriculture Development for the financial and technical support to IFAD funded program in the Laos PDR over the last decades. Related to the partnership between IFAD and Laos, I am happy to note that IFAD's support and interventions to Laos start since 1978 with a total 17 investment projects, totally about 510 million US dollar, and with IFAD's contribution of nearly US 170 million. In this regard, I am pleased to note that IFAD had been one of the rural development champion in Laos with the comparative advantage in an experience and expertise of stakeholders and agriculture technology, improving nutrition, building resilience to climate change, and developing proposed value chains. IFAD had constantly taken steps to transform the smallholder agriculture sector from business to a business-oriented enterprise. To support the partnership investment program at country level, the Lao Country Strategic Opportunities Program, or in short, COSOP, had been developed based on national policies and national development priority, as clearly indicated in the previous and current 5-year National Socio-Economic Development Plan. The current IFAD and Laos COSOP from 2018 to 2025 focus on these two strategic objectives. One, smallholders farmers have enhanced resilience to the nature shock and natural shock and improve food security and nutrition. And two, smallholder farmers have enhanced access to the financial services and the market. To achieve this strategic objective, partnership investment programs have been decided as in and implemented directly supporting the government decentralization policy to achieve the largest possible scale and impact. If IFAD has constantly collaborated and works hand in hand with the key development partners as the Global Agriculture Food Security Program, the World Food Program, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the ASEAN Development Bank, GIZ, and the World Bank, LAC Development, SDC, the Lao Farmer Association, and other key country partners, working in the same convergence project area for the coordinated planning, tendency, and the complementary. Thanks to the joint initiative, hard work, and the commitment of the government, implementation agency, and all country stakeholders at the different level, the implementation of the IFAD-funded projects in Laos had been on track with the number of achievements and the tangible result in the clouds benefiting the target rural poor. The projects in Laos have significantly contributed to the achieving economic development plan, the National Agriculture Development Strategy to 2025 and the Vision for 2030, the National Nutrition Strategies and the Action Plan, and the National Pathway to the Transforming Food System to insert the IFAD in support and contribution to the national development have been asked to the achieve and the important, even with the key achievement and success made, there in the still much work to achieve the ultimate goal and the national development objective as the queries indicate in NICE in SEDP and the new tense in SEDP. More importantly, related to the country strategy and program evaluation finding, please note that the 10th five-year National Socio-Economic Development Plan for 2026 to 2030 have been being formulated and will support the IFAD Lao COSOP designs for 2026 to 2031. Is the right time evaluation that time that the Independent Office of Evaluation conducted the country strategy and program evaluation. With evaluation period from 2011 to 2023, covering the implementation of 9 projects, with 7 completed projects and 2 ongoing projects based on the country strategy and program evaluation. 5 key recommendations were made related to 1, adoption of the sustainable approach to ensure continue in countries presence and engagement. 2, in a strategic decision to be taken regarding co-financing partnership, considering both coherence and potential threat of 3, defining our purpose, enhance the sustainability of the farmer group and makes them more inclusive. Both under upcoming COSOP specification of the approach to climate in resilient natural resources management and needs of those with limited land access, and by setting up the transparent system for reporting operational costs with the clear financial ceiling. In addition, there are related findings in the full report, and these are important as key input for joint participant planning exercises under the ongoing and future partnership investment project to the enhance support to the rural poor and the most vulnerable communities in developing in net rural economy and reduce hunger, malnutrition and poverty in the sustainable environment and the climate responsible way. Once again, on behalf of the government of Laos PDR, I would like to express our sincere thanks and gratitude to the Independent Office of Evaluation, the International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD, and the related country development partner for continuous support and partnership. Thank you for your participation today, and I look forward to our future workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sumavong, for the opening remarks. Next, I'm very honored to invite Dr. Rihanna Raza, Regional Director, Asia and Pacific, Division, Department of Country Operation, IFAD, for opening remarks. Over to you, Dr. Rihanna.
Thank you very much, Sullivan. Nice to see you. Excellencies, distinguished representatives of government of Laos, PDR, colleagues, government partners, and members of the evaluation community, including our very own IOE. It's a pleasure to be with you today at this important national workshop. I'd like to start by thanking the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, the Ministry of Finance, and all those across government and development partners who have contributed to this evaluation process. This is the first country strategy and program of evaluation for Laos PDR, and covering more than a decade of partnership between 2011 and 2023. It's a valuable moment to reflect on what we have achieved together and, more importantly, where we go next. CSPEs are an important point in the cycle for IFAD and a moment of learning for us here in the operations side of IFAD. Over this period, IFAD has supported 9 operations in Laos with a total financing of just over 106 million, as others have mentioned just now. This has also been complemented by co-financing from partners like ADB and GASFP. But let us be clear, these are government-led programs. IFAD provides financing and the technical support, but ownership sits rightly with the government of Laos PDR. That principle is central to how IFAD works, and it'll remain key as we move forward. The evaluation highlights that IFAD projects have been effective in reaching remote and underserved communities, particularly through work on nutrition, sensitive agriculture, irrigation, and inclusive rural value chains. Support to farmer groups and demonstration models have helped lay the groundwork for inclusive agricultural growth. And our collaboration with the ADB under PICSA is a good example of how partnerships can amplify results, particularly in strengthening smallholder resilience and improving food security. In addition to these achievements, the CSP also highlights the significant progress made in targeting women and ethnic groups, which has helped ensure that the benefits of IFAD's investments are more equitably distributed. Through focused support to remote upland communities and the introduction of gender transformative approaches, IFAD projects have contributed to enhancing the voice and participation of women in farmer groups and value chain activities, laying the groundwork for more inclusive rural economies. The evaluation further notes that our engagement has increasingly incorporated resilience and climate-smart practices, helping farmers adapt to climate risk through improved water management, diversified cropping patterns, and sustainable land use models. However, the evaluation also underscores the need for more robust strategies on climate resilience and natural resource management, particularly in southern regions where challenges remain. At the same time, IFAD's efforts to strengthen government capacities, particularly in agricultural extension, project management, and the use of digital tools like Promise for monitoring, are establishing important foundations for long-term sustainability and cross-project learning. These experiences will be critical as we design the next COSUP and aim for even greater impact. Looking ahead, as we prepare for the next COSUP, these lessons will be key. Laos PDR is facing a changing landscape with post-COVID recovery, growing climate risk, and the shifts in the rural economy, as well as facing a challenging external global context. Our future engagement needs to reflect that, supporting the most vulnerable, building resilience, and strengthening systems that last. We must also reflect on how to better support the government in strengthening its capacity and reducing dependency on external aid, ensuring that our work supports a more sustainable, homegrown development model. On behalf of IFAD, I wish to reaffirm our commitment to a revitalized partnership with the government of Laos PDR, grounded in the priorities of the National Socioeconomic Development Plan and aligned with the global objectives of IFAD's 13, climate adaptation, food system transformation, inclusive rural resilience, and leveraging the private sector to achieve sustainable development goals. Our work will remain closely aligned with the government's own priorities, and we will continue to focus on strengthening rural economies while enhancing food security of smallholder farmers. Thank you once again for your engagement, your insight, and your unwavering commitment to rural development. I look forward to the discussion today and the continued partnerships in the years ahead. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lihana, for the remarks. Based on the program, next is the presentation of country strategy and program evaluation and thematic discussion. And allow me to invite Mr. Paulo, lead evaluation officer from Independent Office of Evaluation, IFAD. Over to you, Paulo.
Thank you very much, and good day, everyone. Thank you to the distinguished representatives of the Laos PDR government and to our esteemed colleagues from APR, the Regional Division for Asia and the Pacific, and Department of Country Operations. And thank you to all national and international partners joining us today. I would ask our colleagues to put on a relatively short slide presentation to propose a brief synthesis of the results of this country strategy and program evaluation. Presentation will be shared with my colleague Nick Bourguignon, who was actually part of this mission, and and then give back the floor for discussion. Let me also acknowledge the presence with the Director of the Office of Evaluation, Dr. Naidu, the presence of the Deputy Director of the Office, Ms. Mona Fetou, and also Ms. Claude Saint-Pierre, who was a technical specialist who joined this mission. The mission took place last year in July, and as part of the overall process of analysis of the program in Laos, supported by IFAD. We can go to the next to see the presentation structure. Next slide. And we'll basically, after a brief introduction, we'll look at the methodology of the evaluation, the key findings, conclusions, and recommendations. This will happen in the next 15 minutes. We can continue now next with the objectives of the evaluation, which were basically to assess the performance and results of IFAD strategy and operations in Laos PDR in the last 13 years between 2011 and 2024, with the objective to generate findings and recommendations for the next joint country strategy elaborated by Government of Laos PDR and IFAD operations, as well as to identify lessons learned that can be shared with our partners and with also neighboring countries or similar countries that have similar programs as IFAD has in Laos. The scope of the evaluation, as it has been mentioned already, is the period 2011-2023. We've been looking at loans, grants, and non-lending activities, including knowledge management and sharing and policy engagement and others. And the evaluation focused on two country strategy periods. As most of you know, our country strategies are called COSOPs, and they cover periods of around 5 years. In this case, it was 2011-2015 COSOP, then extended until 2017, and the second COSOP from 2018 to 2024, which was then extended to the end of this year. So we expect that this year, Government of Laos with IFAD operations will elaborate a new country strategy that starts as of next year. In the next slide, we will look at the portfolio at a glance. These figures I've already mentioned, so I'll skim through them very quickly. The important point here is that, as it was mentioned too, this is the first country-level evaluation in Laos PDR. This is also part of an effort by the Independent Office of Evaluation to increase coverage worldwide, and this is part of this effort. Two causal periods we mentioned, the size of the program as well, 342, just short of 342 million US dollars, of which 118 covered by IFAD. The co-financing partners are very diverse. You can see regional banks, you can see bilaterals, and you can see also global funds. So it's a very diverse and interesting, I would say, composition of partnerships that are actively supporting IFAD strategy and program in Laos. Next, we see the portfolio across time. This is divided in two. The upper part of this table shows the evolution of country management over time between 2011 and 2025. In this case, we look up to today, and we see that 7 country managers, then country directors, have been managing this program over the period under analysis, which is an average of about 1 country director every 2 years, more or less. And then in the lower part of the table, you see the details of the program with the single projects. You can see that in the first strategy of the 2011-2017, there is a higher number of projects. And in the second part, the second close-up is fewer projects, but not a smaller country program, because as we can see then in the next slide, we see that if we compare the close projects with the ongoing projects, we see that country coverage has actually increased, although the number of projects, the close projects are 7, while the ongoing projects are only 2. Therefore, there is also a response to a reorientation and increased efficiency by IFAD, responding to directives from senior management that we should have fewer and larger projects. So while ensuring response to demands from governments, as these are government projects, as Dr. Raza rightly pointed out, we increase efficiency also in reducing the bureaucratic burden of single
หน่อยลง
projects.
เนาะโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่ง
In
ใน
the
โครง
next
การ
slide, we look at
อื่นๆเนาะ
the
สไลด์ต่อไป
evaluation
เนาะเข้ามา
criteria.
ว่าเกี่ยวกับเอื่นว่าเงื่อนไขของการประเมินผล
Were those defined by the 2022 evaluation manual. I will just mention them quickly, their relevance, coherence, knowledge management, partnership building, policy engagement, effectiveness, innovation, efficiency, impact, sustainability, environmental and natural resource management, and climate change adaptation, scaling up gender equity and women empowerment, and partners' performance. These are not all formal evaluation criteria, but these are all the areas that the evaluation is looked at. It's a quite rich overview, and I wanted to mention all of them precisely to indicate that the analysis has been thorough and has been very much in-depth. Theory of change has been reconstructed. So what was once called the storyline, the theory of change with 3 main impact pathways, structuring IFAD and Laos intervention between in this period of 2011-2023. The pathways are identified where 3 smallholders that have enhanced resilience to natural shocks. So these were the strategic pathways. Smallholders with enhanced resilience to natural shocks. Number 2, improve food security and nutrition security. And number 3, smallholders benefit from access to services and markets. So these were the 3 impact pathways that drove IFAD's operations in this lapse of time. Evaluation methods were mixed, as we usually do: desk reviews, virtual and in-person interviews, focus group discussions in the field, e-surveys and scoring cards, and direct observations as well. 15 villages in 6 districts of 4 northern provinces have been analyzed. I'll choose not to massacre the Lao language by reading these provinces, but you can read much better than I do, and these are the areas that were visited by the mission. A geographic information system mapping of infrastructure assets was also used, and this was quite innovative, was also used for this evaluation. Limitations encountered included limited time, so the evaluation team on mission focused on the northern provinces, also because there had been a recent project performance evaluation conducted not long ago in the south of Laos, and therefore the team visited mainly the north. And the other limiting factor was the difficult access to a number of villages that led to virtual focus group discussions to a certain extent following IOE selection criteria of villages. Next, we see the findings of the mission, with which I would hand over to my colleague Nick and come back for the final part of the presentation. Thank you. Over to you, Nick.
Thank you, Paolo, and thank you, distinguished representatives of the government of Lao PDR, and to esteemed colleagues in IFAD as well as in IOE. This next section will focus on selected findings from the report, and I'll focus on overall strengths and possible areas of improvement. But of course, for further detail, please do refer to the CSPE report itself. To start with, findings regarding relevance and coherence. We did find that in terms of strengths, that there was adequate alignment with the key national priorities of government of Laos, particularly in its National Socio-Economic Development Plan and National Growth and Poverty Eradication Strategy, as well as in sector plans. These were bolstered through IFAD's emerging strategies, as well as emerging mainstreaming themes, particularly the recent mainstreaming theme on nutrition. This dovetailed well with the portfolio. Similarly, one of the strengths was a continuous engagement by IFAD with national partners, particularly the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. And this also was reflected in the projects changing their priorities in line with government's overall changing priorities. At the same time, we did note that compared to the early projects from the early periods, more recent project designs did reduce the menu of options so that there were less offerings which allowed for improved coverage and focus of project activities. Similarly, as noted, there were multiple partnerships, and the most recent ones allowed IFAD to streamline with ADB and WFP, and this synergized different partner strengths in the different projects in PIXA and the AFN 1 and 2 projects, along with the IFAD's own strengths in smallholder agricultural development. Similarly, through the relocation of the country program management from Laos to Vietnam in the IFAD's multi-country office in Hanoi, this allowed a knowledge exchange between projects across the sub-region, not just within projects in Laos, but also with projects in Vietnam, in Cambodia, that allowed an enriching of knowledge. Finally, or similarly, early engagement in the sector working group on agriculture and rural development allowed knowledge sharing by IFAD with other development partners, as well as with the government of Laos. Similarly, and finally, various policy processes did improve through grant activities, and certain projects also supported policy processes on nutrition strategy. Next, please. Nonetheless, both staying in the criteria of relevance and coherence, certain areas of improvements were noted. That while the country program did adjust overall to government priorities, certain aspects did not adjust completely to evolving country contexts, such as the shift in support for different types of extension, or the provision of grants to groups rather than credits, which has been a more recent development. Similarly, IFAD leadership in country-level processes were limited by the absence of stable country representation linked to the shift of the country program management from Laos to Hanoi. Developing also two programmatic approaches, the PIXA approach and the AFN 1 and 2 approach, did reduce the potential for policy engagement in the two different areas, PIXA in irrigation and AFN 1 and 2 in nutrition. There was a little integration of knowledge generated through grant finance projects in the loan portfolio. And similarly, reduced IFAD presence also reduces visibility and effectiveness in the working group and in the sector working group on agriculture and rural development. Finally, despite a lot of the focus in the early projects that were covered by this evaluation, there were no subsequent, or we did not see any subsequent action on policies regarding land or rural finance in the more recent periods. Next, please. Regarding effectiveness, efficiency, and impact criteria, we did find strengths in these three areas in terms of effective outreach. So about 90 of 148 districts were reached. 14 of 17 provinces had IFAD projects, and nearly 160,000 households, representing a rough estimate of about 950,000 individuals, were reached by IFAD projects. Similarly, we did observe positive contributions to development pathways, the ones on smallholder resilience to natural shocks and to food security and nutrition security. Similarly, we did see that there were positive synergies between these pathways that were attributable to participatory processes such as the village development plans. Also, community-driven nutrition activities did increase food production and beneficiary knowledge on nutrition. And within a context, in terms of impact and within the context of overall poverty decline in the country and in rural areas, we did observe that there was attributable impact to IFAD in improved household assets and food, and also in improved incomes that can be attributed to increased animal asset ownership. Next, please. Nonetheless, there were certain areas that could be improved in these three domains. Firstly, the climate resilience of infrastructure still suffers from a lack of effective O&M modalities. Similarly, there was a lack of evidence across the development pathways that limits the assessment of IFAD's contribution to outcomes. So this is one area that more evidence base can be strengthened. In terms of efficiency, implementation delays did increase operational expenses, and this did lead to rushed implementation towards the end of projects in the closed projects. Similarly, project management costs are high, and this is also a trade-off that came from operational structures and the choice of delivery of operations through local governments. Minimizing unit costs for infrastructure did jeopardize the quality and sustainability of certain infrastructure in geographically challenging areas, in mountainous and upland areas particularly. And in terms of impact, it is challenging to ascertain the impact of IFAD's contributions because of crowded development fields, because it is a crowded development field, because of the overall economic growth occurring across the country, and similarly by the limited impact assessments conducted by the projects. Next slide, please. Regarding gender equality and women's empowerment, as well as scaling up, we did find positive contributions. Firstly, there was strong attention for gender equality and women's empowerment at the strategic level in both COSOPs, particularly in the last COSOP. And this was particularly synergized with improved focus on nutrition at the strategic level in the 2018 COSOP. Similarly, the gender nutrition nexus that was pioneered by AFN1 and in the second COSOP, in the 2018 COSOP, did lead to observed potential gender transformative approaches that should be observed and continued. Similarly, interventions in water infrastructure development, not just in community water infrastructure, but also in irrigation infrastructure, did lead to labor and saving interventions for women. And rural finance for women was a successful intervention, in part due to the partnership with the Laos Women's Union. Regarding scaling up, other donors have been observed to replicate community-based nutrition actions targeting women and children after project closure. And this was seen by, and IFAD-funded village banks were scaled up in the northern provinces by GIZ under the Bank of Laos supervision. Next slide, please. This is the last slide regarding the findings, and this focuses on environment, natural resource management, and climate change adaptation and sustainability, these two areas. We see mixed results. So despite environment, natural resource management, and climate change being a strategic focus in both COSOPs, the COSOP results framework shifted in the 2018 COSOP, making it difficult to measure contributions to this area. As noted before, the loss of previous expertise in closed projects under the first COSOP did lead to a loss of knowledge and expertise on land planning management. Also, we did observe that the overall strategy or action of the programs regarding natural resource management was to reduce pressure on surrounding land through the intensification of existing land and water resources in villages. But despite actions here, pressure continues on surrounding land, in part due to inflation and food price increases. Similarly, SECAP, or social, environmental, and climate assessment procedures, were seen by PMUs and local governments as disconnected from recent projects and requires more support and expertise. As noted before, the issues of O&M and infrastructure are constantly flagged as being unsustainable, and this needs to be addressed one way or another to increase the sustainability of project interventions. And while producer groups were seen as a positive modality for support of entry points, their sustainability could be improved if linked to financial services. We did note that there was improved sustainability of animal assets, though, thanks to farmer-to-farmer extension services. So I close here and pass back to Paolo. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Nick. We're to the conclusions or recommendations of this presentation. So the last two slides, first one is on conclusions. To sum up, IFAD has made useful contributions to rural poverty reduction in Laos by focusing on proven interventions, working best in remote upland areas. So there has been a substantive contribution by IFAD to rural poverty reduction in these difficult areas. And IFAD has followed partner approaches in various areas such as rural finance in the past and currently irrigation, nutrition, among others, and added its own value in smallholder agricultural development. Therefore, IFAD managed and is managing to maximize or to contribute its own value addition together with in synergy with its partners, international national partners in several areas. On the flip side, we should also observe that comprehensive and sustainable approaches to small-scale infrastructure and climate resilience have yet to be found. It's still work in progress. We heard about the limited sustainability of small infrastructure, the issues with operations and management of such operations and maintenance, of such infrastructure was mentioned several times by several stakeholders and beneficiaries. Number 4, the limited country presence in the second half of the evaluated period curtailed IFAD's earlier partnerships and policy engagement, which does not mean that IFAD did not engage anymore, but it means that by the fact that IFAD was no longer present in country, there were objective limitations to the level of engagement that IFAD could undertake. And lastly, new approaches addressing all the above elements must also consider IFAD's role, IFAD's specific value added and role in the official development assistance landscape and in supporting government capacity. The ODA landscape, as it was mentioned, is crowded in Laos. So as IFAD changes its modus operandi through decentralization and through refocusing its support to government priorities, as government priorities also change over time, new pathways and new balances to identify IFAD niches must be identified. The last slide is on recommendations. This is just a synthesis of what you will find in the main report. So number one just follows on what I was mentioning about IFAD presence. IFAD should adopt a sustainable approach to ensure continued in-country presence and engagement, obviously compatibly with IFAD strategic priorities and budget constraints, and compatibly with government priorities and requests. Number 2, IFAD should take a strategic decision regarding co-financing partnership, considering both coherence and potential trade-offs. This is further detailed in the report. And number 3, IFAD should redefine its approach to enhance the sustainability of farmer groups and make them more inclusive. Number 4, the upcoming country strategy should specify the approach to climate resilience, natural resource management, and the needs of those with limited land access. This is also an area that has been consistently identified as needing improvement over the evaluation period. And last but not least, IFAD should set up a transparent system for reporting operational costs with clear financial ceilings. And I would add to this also a clearer and more effective monitoring system of results and impact, as we have observed through the evaluation. With the next slide, I thank you for your attention and invite you to go to the website of Independent Office of Evaluation for the full report and specific recommendations. And I hand over to the moderator and Master of Ceremonies for the discussion. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Paolo and Nick, for the presentation covering comprehensive points related to key achievement, contribution, and also area for further improvement, with also key recommendation made. And next, based on the program, it's an open session for question, for suggestion, for more clarification based on the finding of the evaluation and based on 3 selected themes. First one related to climate resilience and natural resource management. Secondly, related to partnership and co-financing modalities. And number 3 is about future of farmers, development, etc. So in short, next I would like to give the floor to Dr. Pomi to moderate the session. Over to you, Dr. Pomi.
So thank you very much. Thank you. Good afternoon. Again, Pomi Intijak from Department of Planning and Cooperation of MAF. So I'm very happy to be part of this important meeting again. And first of all, thank you for the presentation of the country strategy and program evaluation and the thematic discussion by Mr. Paulo, Silvery Lead Evaluation Officer, Independent Office of the Evaluation of IFAD, and Mr. Nick, Evaluation Officer of Independent Office of the Evaluation of the IFAD, with the key findings, lesson learned as inputs for the future IFAD strategy in Laos. As per the programs, next is to give the floor to the key management from the government lies agencies, IFAD funded projects and related development partners too, for the questions, comments related to finding of the country and the program. And as Mr. Sullivan already mentioned that we have 3 areas to be focused on. So first off on, allow me to invite maybe the first one, maybe the representative from the Monterey, from Department of Planning and Finance, for probably comments on the climate resilience and natural resources management, namely related to the government policy, challenge and key area for the government and the IFAD attendance. Please share with us some thought.
เจ้าสบายดีก่อนอื่นก็ขอเรียนท่านประธานและขอเรียนที่ประชุมเจ้าวันนี้ขอโทษหลายเพราะว่าทางคณะกลุ่ม
I apologize that because the leadership of my department for Monterey, I representing from Department of Planning and Finance from Monterey, and also I would like to express my sincere appreciation and supportive, and also for the next approach that links to Monterey, and would like to get the support from IFAD that will be linked to national socio-economic plan for the land use, and also for climate resilience, and also for climate adaptation, and also for those and early warnings, and also for capacity buildings for community space. That is part of those portfolio that would like to get support on behalf of Monterey.
Very short and
Not
brief. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite the representative from the Agriculture and Forestry and Rural Development Research Institute, or NAFRI, we call it short, to share with us your comments or suggestion or even questions if you want to ask the team of IFAD, please.
Hello, Chao. Chao, sabadi.
Very good afternoon here, and also would like to convey my sincere respects to Mr. She. My name is representing for National Research Institute, or NAFRI, and also I would like to have my input here, and in principles that I would like to support for those presentation from the IFAD and independence, and on behalf of the NAFRI, we are the role of those research in order to contribute for development, particularly for those research for development and agriculture forestry research. And this type of work, particularly for those rice and vegetables and livestock and fishery sector. And I would say that for NAFRI's current stage that we are formalizing for those strategic plan for 2025 and also for the vision 2050, and also in order to link to this type of IFAD COSOP, NAFRI would like to propose any work that would be linked to those research in terms of agriculture and forestry and development. Anything that's been linked, I would like to, if I to consider our that relevant work into like the next course of. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to taking these opportunities to invite. I believe that we having Department of Rural Development Department representing. We have Mr. Petsamon Thanasak for Deputy Director Generals of the Rural Development Department. I would like to invite you for your remark. My name is Petsamon Thanasak and from the Department Rural Development. I would like to have my input here after listening to those presentation and also for evaluation CPS. I would like to convey my congratulations and sincere appreciation for all year long IFAD support in this regard for for rural developments and poverty reductions. And also, I would like to notify to IFAD team that for so far, we also has been conducting projects under the World Banks and ADB, and in particular for those poverty reductions and also malnutrition in the remote area. And also for upcoming plan, it's possible for those rural development and poverty reduction is part of national mandate. I would like to suggest IFAD that to taking our department mandate into IFAD, and also that would like to be part of contribute small those work relevant to those rural developments and poverty reduction. And also we can observe that the small the farmer and also for those fellow citizens living in the remote area, they also have the need for those external assistance, particularly for those in malnutrition and health. That is part of my input from so in the upcoming opportunities we are looking forward for more engagement. Thank you very much, Mr. Pesamon Thanasak. And for next agenda, I would say that we also have representative from Department of Agriculture Extensions and Cooperative Department that will be linked to the mandate of nutrition and also for those for agriculture production program and cooperative that will be linked to those the portfolios of supply chains and also for APGs and else that I would like to have the colleague from the Department of Agriculture Extension and also for the way forward for the scope of work for the next course of. Thank you very much. Very good afternoon. My name is Kansai Sanyawong. I'm from Department of Agriculture Extensions and Cooperative Department. I would like to express my sincere appreciation for IFAD and also that's to provide all year long support, particularly for portfolio in Laos PDRs and fully support as the key part of those indicator has been presented earlier. I can say that IFAD also have a big contribution that particularly for those agricultures is as many millions dollars. Well, and also for our Department of Agriculture Extension is part of those components that already been receiving fundings partially from IFAD, even those that we are not direct components, but we also have receiving some partially funding, and also our departments and also DAEC in short, and we also part of the department that have the role into implementing for those agriculture production group by supporting for this small stakeholder and capacity building for those small farmer for behavior change and production change by achieving for those establishments of APGs and cooperative. That's part of those the mandate that already been part assigning for this work. And also for this type of our department also part of the key entities that either to supporting not only for supporting from IFAD, ADB or World Bank. We already been part of this development engagement for next the way forward, and also on behalf of our department, so would like to propose to IFAD to consider to and also how to support our department, and also how can they be able to have agriculture's production that to be able to be production that for commercialization that be able to make it in business, and also this type of agricultures need to be enhancing for those the farmer that to have like the capacities by establishments of the production group into cooperative in terms of APGs here that needs to link into those supply chains and also value added into that links to the market, links to those green developments, and for those clean and also environmentally friendly. That is part of the department mission. And also just in case that IFAD for the way forward that we also have working into this portfolio that we can focus into those added value into production group. That's to make that be able to enhancing them to be cooperative group. Cooperative is part of those, and also we starting the cooperative starting to be part of those. That is part of the mandate that we would like to see in the futures. Thank you very much for IFAD that already been part of the key support for our Department of Agriculture Extensions and Cooperative. Thank you very much, Mr. Kansai. Representing for Department of Agriculture Extension and Cooperative, I would like to invite for representative of Ministry of Industry and Commerce to have your input, particularly for for the commercialization and market linkage, whether or not what are our perspective that for Ministry of Industry and Commerce. I would like to convey my sincere respect to Mr. Chair and also for colleagues from other line agencies and those on premises and online representing from Ministry of Industry and Commerce. I would like to have my input into two perspectives. And also for the first part that links to the presentation for those key fighting for external evaluation, independent evaluations office, I would say that this work that already been linked to our work, particularly for linked to commercialization, that will be part of some partially, and also there will be linked to and also for those promoting for those small producers that would be part of those the portfolio that will be linked to our role by accessing to the finance that will be linked to our portfolio. I believe that in this work that in principles that we would need to have to promote this type of the mandate. I would like to express my consensus with those for those evaluations, key findings, and also for the second point, I would like to have my input, and also we are at the process of those for 10 5-year plan for those national socio-economic developments, and also we will taking this the policy in which that from the government's that would be able to independent economies and also be able to stand on our own feet, and also that we are the process of those for nationals 10 5 years plan. They are at the process of merging between Ministry of Energies and Mine and our ministry that will be merged together. And would like to taking these opportunities to propose to IFAD just in case that in the next course of plan that would like to propose to have those contribution for those industrial and commerce more into those project portfolio for the next course of, and also because because these two ministry between tradings and agricultures, Ministry of Agriculture, so promoting for those productions, and we are supporting for access to the market. I would like to IFAD to consider whether or not that we be able to have those joint planning or joint participation between Ministry of Industry and Commerce more, particularly. And also that would be linked to Department of Agriculture Extension. They already been raising the issue that we also have those production group, and also we would like to support them to be able those production output that be able to make a commercialization, turning into business. That is part of those responding part, that whether or not that would be able to have like consistencies of supply, and also then we'll be able to improve the qualities and quantities, that it will be able to make it a group or cooperative and other, that I believe that in the future that we'll be able to and also that will be part of the plan. We would focusing into that will be able to environments of and also for the next and also that would be able to trade facilitation, and the third of our priorities for the ministry that would be working into for competitiveness, and also for improving for those business competencies and competitiveness, that is being part of those Ministry of Industry and Commerce, that would be part of the portfolio that would like to consider into activities with IFAD. Thank you very much. And also been working for a number of things would be linked to those finance management, and also would like to invite for Ministry of Finance. I believe that we also have Mr. Turtun from online. I would like to invite Mr. Turtun from Ministry of Finance that already been have your input in which that for the way forward that links to cooperation, and also for those contribution between co-financing for implementations of the projects. Otherwise, for those other cooperation with IFAD, perhaps we can have a hearing from Mr. Turtun from Ministry of Finance. Well, can you hear me?
ได้ยินอยู่เจ้าขออนุญาตพอดี
So thank you very much. I was not fully participate in I was like to taking online. So I would like to express my sincere support, and also for those and also for Ministry of Finance on behalf of those for macro management for implementations of the projects, and also they already been supporting by IFAD. Particularly, we also have been working for disbursement on all projects in regular basics manner, and also that we also have disruptions for those that needs to have the online approval. There's also have some the system is not consistent, and also we also at the process of working in terms of troubleshootings, and also for disbursements of the financial we still can see level of consistencies. There is no issue from the size of Ministry of Finance, and also the thing I would like to have my input for those for those agriculture promotion, particularly for IFAD, I would say that we need to look into the perspective of the agriculture's commodities that would be part of the cash crop or also priorities. I would say that in order to support these agricultures into we're talking about those general basic of agricultures that for low will improve lower income, but we're not looking into those the prospect commodities agricultures that we need to look into those the climate in Laos PDRs, whether or not that the strength and also for the fruit or vegetables, otherwise of the herbals commodities that we already have potential. I would like to suggest that to make analysis and do research, particularly for those for geo landscape, climate, and environments, whether or not that to be part of this, what type of products that to make is more prospect and also have more to be crash crop that to develop into those commodities that to be right not to be too general but to more specific into those potential the cash crop like lychees or passion fruit or bananas, pineapples, and else or otherwise high value vegetable export to China like cabbage, for bok choy, sweet corn, green bean, tomatoes, and else. Otherwise, you know, the herbals, lemongrass, for example, presso, mint, turmeric, gingers, kalanka, and else that I believe that we need to do some focus into those potentials of the cash crop that for exporting rather than just too general. That is part of the perspective from Ministry of Finance. We would like to support for IFAD to support Lao PDRs. I would like to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude for IFAD and team that for keep year-longs and having supported and also that for the good work of contribution for IFAD to Laos PDRs. Tetun, I'm just wondering whether or not that would like to have your the co-financing opinions and co-financing modalities. Is there any input from you that whether or not what type of suggestion from a perspective of Ministry of Finance? I do not have much opinion on this because we also have links to those disbursement and work. I believe that it will be part of external debt department that to be part of direct investment for those financial co-finance or partnership with IFAD. That is not relevant to my department. Thank you. Next, I would like to carry on of my mission that we also have representative from from Lao Farmer Association, and also that would be part of a cooperative group that in terms of those therefore I would like we also have Mr. Putasin, the president of Lao Farmer Network. I would like to have your input particularly for those the current stage and also the way forward of those the agriculture production group development and also for how can we be about those networking market linkage. And also I would like to invite Mr. Putasin to have your input, the president of Lao Farmer Network. Thank you very much. Mr. Putasin, the floor is yours.
Okay, now.
Please, the floor is yours. So first of all, I would like to convey my sincere respects to giving me opportunities for Lao Farmer Network that to be part of this special for this very special occasion. Well, and also our association also very honored to see those type of evaluations result and also that to see the significance of particularly for APG. And also for this, the group is also important and potential for the next step for development. That's really delightful to see this type of research and evaluation. And also, as we heard from the directions of the governments for Department of Agriculture Extension and Cooperative, that also mandate that to see those type of APGs to be part of mechanism to develop those agriculture sector in the futures. And also I would like to make it carry on. And also for those for the next IFAD COSOF, that to taking this for those strengthening those capacities for small holder that will be able to extension. And also we would see that you know, and also number of the APG has been established, but this not, we keep set up new group on and on that would have more group. We have the big quantities of the group and number of the projects. I would like to say that we do not need to have too much group, but we can have prioritization for those existing group rather than just newly establishment of the new group. For my views that for the new IFAD directions, I would like to improve the existing group that already has in the system. And also our farmer network would like to observe, delightful to observe the new group that to be able to be part of the network and to be part of the development, that will be able to put the effort and support each other, particularly for access to the market. And also we also have the colleague from Ministry of Industrial Commerce and Finance that would suggest us to be more entrepreneurs, more business. If we have the clients, we need to have like the group to produce. We need to merge and combine and be in order to supporting for demand side of the market. And also for those the cooperation with the network. Can I share some presentation? I would like to have those some small if you don't mind. So I would like to share this type of presentation. So I got you. You know, and in 2018, and IFAD and also in our network, I already have those cooperation agreement or CA is already been signed in 2018. That showcase that they also have the 5 years of agreements period is already been expired and by 2023 due to the fact that because it's not in line with the COSOF. So therefore, for those who are developing for the IFAD COSOF, would like to taking this contract into the COSOF plan for the news phase. And also in principles that for this type of cooperation, we also have those 5 cooperation, and also for those the things in for involvement of those for development of the projects in which that we also have the opportunities. We also have been part of this engagement, particularly for agriculture for nutrition phase 2. They also have been part of the project design since the beginning. And the second one is of those partnership between IFAD and for implementations of the projects that we also do not have more active engagement, particularly those because the budget is not have sufficient for arranging for our network. Therefore, I would like to suggest that we'd like to have more engagement for project implementation under IFAD portfolio, particularly for IFAD. We also have seen potential for access to challenge fund, for particularly for CSO and else, and also through those challenge fund. And also for this type of news for new project development, I would like to be part of the small similar modalities like AFN2 that be able to have like our network to be able to contribute. And the third one, I would like to have suggest that for those to be part of the COSOP development plan. In this COSOP, I would like to express my interest to be part of these developments of the COSOP. And also one thing, during the time of mission deployment, I would like to be part of engagement of the mission. I have ever been part of the FN2 and Pixar's mission during the time of they already been deployed. And the last one that would like to be engaged more that to have for for KM and KM knowledge management, and also in order to help to formalize of the policy in short, to sum up in our network would like to expanding out corporations within those type of portfolio, and also would like to have more deep divings more in terms of relationship, and also being more active. Once again, I would like to sincere appreciation and gratitude to giving me opportunities for Lao Farmer Network Dash to all year long. I do hoping that to be more active and more closer relationship. Thank you very much.
And Lao
Thank you
Farmer
very much for
Association
those
I
the
mean,
presidents of Lao Farmer Network is part
association
of those
ที่
associations that are key contributors and participant for the activities that also part of the general policies of the governments of Laos, that's to capacity building internally, that be able for those people be able to keep on sustainabilities. And also in this regard that we having two projects that already been funding by IFAD, this including agriculture for nutrition phase 2 and PIXA, in which that AFN2 and PIXA that already been part of participation here. And also on behalf of those actual implementers, I would like to have those hearing from those feedback from this session, whether or not this type of feedback that relevant to the challenge, and also for those development that would I would like to have opportunities to so FN2 from representing FN2. Very good morning, very good afternoon. I would like to have my name is Sisawat Bandanuwongs. I am FN2 National Projects Coordinator for the phase 2. And also my input would be because on behalf of those actual implementer, I would a little bit more deep diving because I also have those particularly trying to use not a political but trying to get like a deep diving into the actual point. Therefore, I would like to have my express my consensus with the colleague and for those the key finding results. And also for this, I can observe that for these evaluations, key finding results also have the strengths and also for those the challenge. But in principles, that for those the thing we are not performed well, particularly according to my observation, because this work that already been part of for last year that already been passed more than 13 years, that maybe observed that, and also for the policies price to those for the donors and the government's policies, it has been because every 5 years the policy has been changed slightly or rapidly. We need to make it, and also that may be the case that of course that something may not be performed well as should be, particularly comparing to the current state at what we are looking forward now. There's also a number of those comments in the perspective that I would like to say that for fighting for activeness, and also the point here, and also that we need to have the improvement here I would like to say that in principles that I already agree for the expert who has been raising these topics. Before we get into those improvement, there's also have rational why is happen, and also, for example, just in case that infrastructure, let's say for those operation and maintenance, and also after the project has been completed, there's no sustainabilities, and also if we look into those portfolio, particularly for the for those the landscape, we need to get back to those the designing phase, but we selecting for those for according to those the donors criteria and government criteria and those properties district, and also of course that for those if you be able for the properties village is very hard to access, and therefore the management, because due to the logistic and else that I would like to there's also, I'm not sure about those also for those the unit values of infrastructure, the investment it needs to be a little bit higher comparing to those the country with those geo landscape like in Vietnam, that I can see that because the geo landscape is different. We need to look into like the criteria. We need to improve or increase the infrastructure's value in the place, and also we need to calculate all those the soil layers or the soil qualities preparation, because the for the current state of those investment value is not enough. I and also this will be relevant to those end up even those that we also have the exit strategies up there for project sustainability, that would be of course that we also agree that we the donors and the governments that we need to in synergies of all the projects are available in order to support this for operation and maintenance, but in reality is though it is hard to justify for these synergies. I would like to suggest that no matter what for these infrastructures or else, is that possible that instead of those projects for designing for 4 to 5, we can have like 6 to 7, and also for the last need to have like some preservation of for monitoring and operation and maintaining budget, and also for the second one, that for those delay for implementation, we need to go back into those my statement earlier, that for example like my project AFN2, for we have like 3 provinces to the north, 3 provinces to the south, and also the thing I would like to say that, and well, and also I would like to see that that's 2 things I would like to see. The first one is that, and also for the time of for the project design of the projects, in order for preparation before we need to have some the pre-project design for preparation of financings, and also as I have ADB projects, that if we have like a reserve budget that during the time of preparation, many projects of my 2 projects for EFN1 and 2, while waiting for preparation for the projects, we don't have budget for those type of preparation particularly for those for preparations of those for recruitment of the staff, that we need to have some budget, and also because we also have a good the good thing of the EFN 2 is we have opportunities to transfer from AFN 1 to AFN 2, but for next projects, so we need to consider, we need to have some certain level of preparations budget available before the project design. That is the thing. That's number of the things like resulting for those delay for human resources, budget, operation and maintenance, and also those type of and else. Well, and also if the project has been approved, and also if in order to fulfill those the budget, so it's hard to get for the first circle of the budget. Sometimes it's 6 months after the project has been approved. Therefore, other things.
Uh, สำหรับเวียกโครงล่างเนาะ
And
สำหรับ
also
เวียกโครงล่าง
relevance to those infrastructures, I would like during the time of project design, if possible, I would like to propose that we should not have the funding gap for those infrastructure, because those is the funding gap at the moment that we would like to implementation of the project. For example, like in during the time of production season, they already have the production commodities, but there's no access road to deliver those commodities to the market. That might be the case. That will be a part of those the challenges that the projects have. Whether or not that if we be able to have those do not have the funding gap for those infrastructures and else, of course that because the process for this type of those, you know, for the contracts, and also there's number of the process that involved, and also that also for the bureaucracies of the process of for project implementation is part of the key things that would make the project slowing down. I think that we need to have some creative way that whether or not that we be able to find other ways. I would like to get back to another ideas from those Department of Agriculture Extensions and Cooperative, particularly for those links to market. FN2 also working on that. We will be working in hand with those Lao Farmer Network and Department of Agriculture Extension, particularly. We would like to see the strengthening capacities of the APG, Agriculture Production Group. We need them to be part of the group and cluster, and then they be able to mobilize the commodities or the products to be able to supply for the business in a consistent manner. If we think about the ways that so because from APG to turn to be cooperative, it's going to take a longer time. I believe that we need. I believe that for this the projects under, I would like to say that we need to focus for those agricultural production group in the group that they already have the cluster and the similar products, similar commodities, 5 to 6, or otherwise. We need to provide them this the skill for management and also for financial planning and else, in order for them to be able to have the power for negotiate, to be able to supply, because the business or the market, they have the challenge for the quantities, because if they go to the village where they have like 4 to 5 family only, they don't have because the level of absorption, they don't have enough commodities for the business. I promise I will be the last one. I would like to suggest that during the time of project designing, particularly for those identifying for the activities in which that to have those potential in the target village, particularly for those large animals activities. Some of those, the district like Nong Het and Sampan district, and the activities that's to promote large animal, because sometimes of some prospect a district or province, they also have potential for large animal, but the project do not accept that ideas. That might be the case that make developments of potential So that is a couple points. I would say that we should not limit it only for some preferentials of the projects only. So lastly, I would like to propose to IFAD to keep on their good mission, and also for IFAD already being part of a good deed. I would like to have to support more, and also particularly, thank you very much. I appreciate for your support, and thank you very much for giving me opportunity to speak up. Thank you very much, Mr. Sisawat, for the national projects coordinators for FN2. I would like to invite for Mr. Kansavan for national project coordinator for PIXA to have your input. Thank you very much. Mr. Chair and principles that I would like to have my input with those colleagues in the meeting and online. That's for three main topics. That particularly the first topics that will be linked to those the delays implementation of activities, and also for those in order to streamline the process, and also particularly, and also according to experience for the PIXA experience, the rationale for this implementation for delaying and too urgent, because we are losing for 2 years. My project is PIXA. We're starting implementing by 2020, and we also have the approval by 2029. We also have expecting to complete by 2025. However, we also losing for 2 years, 2021 during the time of COVID outbreak. Therefore, we also have the 3-year actual implementing. Therefore, we would need to urgently speed up. Therefore, if we don't be able to, we're not sure about those expectation of the donor. Therefore, we also losing for 2 years. Therefore, we need, if we want to complete according to the time frame, that we need to speed up by inputting for more manpower, particularly for this in the district level, particularly because we don't have sufficient staff in the district level. We need to have like fully full-time staff, and also if we realize of governments, we need to look into the contract of the recruitment, and also we need to have extra manpower. If we need to have those, for the district that to work, at least we need to have 2 or 3 positions needs to support those district level, not only for those MSP, facilitator, otherwise can be those financial management staff. That also very important, and also we need to input the manpower. This is why the rationale that we need to have speed up those type of process for implementing for PIXA, and also we need to have like technical assistant, and also for the structure of the governments that do not have the capacities to perform in. Therefore, we need to have those the TA to support the district level. And also for those human resources for implementation. And the second point that I would like to, and also for the budget and for management, and the budget for administration, and also they observe that for 2011 up to 2023, they also have 9 projects starting from 2020. We also have 2 projects remaining, AFZ and PIXA, but out issued after 2020, and also the budget has been deducted for admin costs, and also for the TA, and also for consultancies due to the fact of the economic hardship and the budget. Therefore, they also have implication for workload, and also the way out, and also just in case that for those investment of IFAD, we need to have those co-finance option. Otherwise, can be focused into access to available grant for other sources, particularly for those consultancies and admin work. The loan might be for the investment for those, particularly for for the grant for those MSP or infrastructure or else that it is part of the loan, but the grant might be focusing into like admin and TA work, and also that is possible that in order to avoiding for those some potential work during the time for shortage of TA or shortage of the staff, and also for other work for the synergies work, and also for joint cooperation and synergies that would be responding for for Mr. Turtun, Ministry of Finance, and also for those for priorities work, and also just in case that they also have existing for other projects source funding from World Bank, GSS, and else, and also for the landscape, and also we need to see if we have those synergies and also joint work and the sourcing of the fund, what they are going to do. ADB and GSS that might working into for environmentals in the area, they also have those experience and stuff on that, and also for ADB for those infrastructure, for the big infrastructures that might be, and IFAD working into those agricultures or communities based, that we'll be able to see this circle of synergies of three of resources, and also in the area has been more synergy, I would say. And also the most important that we need to look into those how can we be able to not to duplicate the work of those available resources, and also how can we be able to link the relevantness. Then we need to look into this type of work that to make sure that for this type of investment to have more effective and in the same area. That also part of the 3 points that I would like to say on behalf of the Pixar. Thank you very much, and also for the 2 national project coordinator, and also before we proceeding to other discussion, I would like actually that we also have development partners here that also part of the joint implementing of the work, and in this regard that we also have those key development partner that already been part of this IFAD. We also have FAO, WFP. Therefore, I would like to invite for those development partner to have your input here, whether or not that the way forward, and also about a couple minutes per each. So perhaps we can have like the input from WFP. Good afternoon นอกก็คือบรรดาเพื่อนร่วมงานเนาะแล้วก็ทีมงาน
My name's Utai. I'm from the World Food Program, and I would like to thank you for the evaluation team that's showing the great result of the evaluations, and which I would like to echo some of the elements which basically about the partnership. I would say like IFAD, World Food Program, and some other partner like our FAO colleague, example, and others. We have the strong collaborations, I would say, with the current partnership. We have maximized the impact as mentioned in the evaluations that quite obvious, like we have some focus and the mandate of different partners and then helping and get the synergies of the investment. I think that's something with no doubt, like we can help to maximize that and then bring a kind of a successful in terms of bringing the results to those vulnerable peoples. And with the futures collaborations, I think the IFAD, FAO, and basically the Rome-based agencies, we look into some collaborations. Example, like looking at the IFAD capacity and the footprints of IFAD, they'll basically focus about the farm support and looking to helping those farmers in terms of producing those productions, and looking to the policy engagement from the FAO. So we're looking to the collaborations of the homegrown school feeding model, which can be one of the initiative and the collaborations in the future that I would like to highlight the partnership and the engagement. Maybe one quick thing about the recommendation. I found like there's a 5 area of recommendations which I believe like by IFAD mandate, food security and nutrition should remain the priority of the new COSOP for the next 5 years. And if that's not in there, and then I think I will see like there's a strong potentials and capacity from IFAD itself to really bring and help the country, basically from the ministry and those remote areas. Look at the previous investment from IFAD. We really go back to like some of the project coordinator just mentioned about the remote, the access of those vulnerable peoples, where IFAD and partners really look into those areas. Of course, there are some challenges around the sustainability link up to the accessibility of those locations. But I think food security and nutrition still remain the challenges and still one of the priority of the 10 and EDP of the government. I would like to echo like it should be something where I think IFAD can still play the bigger roles in there and helping partners and try to synergize and get a strong synergies. Example, like when we look at the targeting of the different projects among the different partners and the government, I think IFAD still very focused a lot in building the capacity of the community and especially on the farmers, which we see the strong value and benefit of helping in the same targeting approach and looking to the geographical locations where the strong need is there. And we see like what could be the different partners and what would be the roles of IFAD and playing that. So that's one area that I would like to echo and see that as a next 5-year strategic plan that we still in those strongly engaged in those areas. And the last one on the recommendations on the policy engagement. Though in the finding, there might not be some changes of the policy speech of the government, but I still see like there's a very values added to the IFAD investment on the policy piece of work. For example, like with the investment and with the footprint and then whatever that IFAD bring to the country, I think there's a lot of influence along the investment of the governments where I can see like though we kind of helping the government look into a bit more strategic in terms of where would be the best investment in the different locations, where could be the most needed locations, and based on the different requirement, whether we look at the value chains of food security, nutrition, or some of the smallholder farmer support example. I still think like by having this kind of policy strongly engaged in the policy engagement, if I still have a strong role in there, and then I still encourage that could be the area that we might reconsider. Of course, one of the area that we find like the limited percent of the IFAD in the country still hinder some of the capacity, but I believe like that could be something that IFAD could bring to considerations where we can enhance those elements, at the same time be a strong partner for the ministry, helping them to achieve the plan as well. I think that's it. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, ขอบใจเนาะก็เชิญทาง FAO เนาะมีคำเห็นซอยโดยย่อเนาะ เวลาใกล้มาแหง
Use the time wisely. So I would like to speak a very short minute is just C, representing Food and Agriculture Organization, because my boss is not available, so I representing my boss on his behalf. And well, and also I look into those type of assessment, and also there's number of those achievement. We also have the 2 phases for those. It's not consistency during the time of those. We might not have the impact result more it should be because that's also for the 2000 after 2013 and after 2020, that also part a new phase for this assessment. But also thank you very much for those all entireties of agencies that for implementation for all year long, that also have number of achievement, that also have one thing like I would like to see, and also for the assessments for those sustainabilities part, there's not much to see. And also because sustainability is part of the core issue for all projects and activities, particularly because we would like to, that is part of the benchmark measurement after the project has been completed. And also after the 7 projects have been completed, we would like to see whether or not that for the sustainabilities of the projects that we need to look into those refocus for this. And also second point that for recommendation is not part of in this 5 recommendation for the next project, that maybe we also we can focus into like a young smart farmer that might be for potential that would around maybe about 30% of Laos populations are the young people, migrant worker overseas, and some are living in the countries. In order to have those type of group for young farmer that will be able to apply those digitalization, agro modern techniques or application or AI, particularly that to help them. And in the FAO's perspective, we also we have a couple system that already been developed with those Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Monterey, particularly for Laksa and Samis. There's also part of application that be able to help the farmer. This quite a good system that be able to have the weather focus and else they be able to watch monitorings because some of the farmer unwilling to use that. But I believe that for young farmer they be able to competent into this type of work, and it is very good tool for the agriculture activities. That is the portfolio of recommendation for young farmer into this recommendation. I believe that for many of us that already have want to have those the timing that would like to proceedings to keep on agenda accordingly. And I believe that before we handling this stage to Mr. Sullivan, that we already appear to have those Madam Cross for senior evaluation consultants would like to just in case that would like to invite Madam Cross to have your input before we proceeding to next agenda. Cross, the floor is yours. Senior evaluations consultant, Madam Cross.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Pume. Also, thank you to all the participants right now. Just let me give you 2-3 points, my feedback on what I heard. First, I heard you have a very strong consensus on how useful the farmer groups are and how working with IFAD is helping with the development of the groups. And you have great things to continue in this field. Second, conversely, you expressed rather different views on how to help the groups access the market. This is not surprising because in such a diverse country, from very remote, very poor, especially in the south, less remote with much more potential in the north, very diversified options for crops, and a number of options to reach the client. So you need to invent the right ways, perhaps several ways. And I was pleased to hear that you welcome IFAD in further supporting you. Also, some very specific ideas on how to help farmers adapt to climate change, like early warnings, how to include young farmers in this effort, including through modern ways. So thank you very much for taking in the evaluation results and providing your ideas. Of course, you also highlighted how the methods in projects matter. What kind of technical assistance do you need further? Unit costs appropriate, particularly for small infrastructure, and also the phasing and the project management. Finally, the cooperation, the dialogue between the ODA partners. So thank you very much. And I hope you can use the evaluation report as a reference whenever you will feel the need for that. Best wishes for the next COSUP and the upcoming projects.
Thank you very much, Ms. Claude, and thank you all for your very valuable comments and input. So now I give the floor back to Mr. Sullivan, please.
Thank you. Again, thank you for all the inputs from the government agency, projects, and also partners. and also the feedback and reaction from Croft as the senior evaluation consultant for this evaluation. Next session is the orientation on the IFAD 13 strategy in the Laos PDR. So in this regard, I would like to invite Dr. Pomit again to share some of the key area for future IFAD strategy and intervention in the Laos PDR. Over to you, Dr. Pomit.
Thank you again. And first of all, dear on distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. So once again, dear my chair, Madam Sifong, Deputy Director General of Department of External Finance of MAF. Once again, on behalf of the government, namely Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. So I would like to share some inputs and suggestions related to this comprehensive CSPE. And I am happy to note that the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, as they are coordinating and implementing the agency in partnership with related government agencies, namely Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Planning and Investments, and other related technical agencies at central and local level, as well as the country development partners, have coordinated and work together to support the implementation and management of IFAD-funded projects in Laos, in line with the government decentralization policies and clear work division. Thanks to the joint actions as per CSPE, findings and reports of the IFAD-funded project made during the joint supervision mission and the joint implementation support mission, there have been a number of key achievements with impacts and on the ground benefiting the rural poor. Also, there are key challenges to be considered as the key input and joint actions at different levels. In this regard, it is imperative to note that the CSPE findings with the 5 clear recommendations are important and useful to support the policy formulation and planning exercises under ongoing and future projects financed by IFAD and related development partners to contribute to achieve the goal and development objectives of the current 5-year National Socio-Economic Plan, the National Agriculture Development Strategy to 2025 and Vision to 2030, and National Nutrition Strategy and Action Plan, and the National Action Plan for to transforming food systems. To be more specific concerning the 5 key areas, key recommendation made, allow me to share technical comments, namely one, firstly, with current good support and partnership with IFAD Country Office these days, and it would be more visible if IFAD formally set up the physical IFAD Country Office with former IFAD staff and necessary facilities to ensure continued in-country presence to support current business and for increased engagement in country policy consultations and sharing best practices and lesson learned from IFAD investment on the ground. Secondly, the other 4 recommendations are correct for joint focus, namely related to the increased attention the attention, the partnership with the other country development partners to support ongoing and future project with clear work division, coordinated plan, synergy, and complementary. The other point is the continuation to assess and redefine our approach to ensure the sustainability and inclusiveness of farmer groups with market access. Starting a robust approach, ensuring a clear approach to climate resilient and sustainable natural resources management in IFAD projects. And lastly, implementation of a transparent system for reporting operational costs and continue to support structured capacity development. It is key to note that these recommendations are in line with the MAF, or Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry Agriculture Development Strategy, and its vision, and also the goal and development objective of the 9th NSEDPs and the 10th NSEDP that we are in the process of developing to be from 2026 to 2030, which is have been and continue formulating. Besides these 5 recommendations from the Independent Office of Evaluation, there is a wealth of information in the report that should be used by all stakeholders during the next months for designing the new COSOP and the new IFAD 13 project. It gives a clear indication of what work and what may have worked not so good. Lesson learned from the field and input from partners at all levels. This was the first ever country evaluation completed for Laos, and we should make use of it as much as possible, as the next evaluation may only be done again in the future. With clear focus, as we will start the new course of design already planned during the 9th to 20th of June 2025. The mentioned recommendations are crucial inputs to support the government of Laos and IFAD to jointly develop the new course of 2026 to 2031. And these recommendations are important inputs for practical planning exercise under ongoing and future partnership investment project for increased tangible results to support the rural, poor, and most vulnerable communities in developing the rural economy and reduce hunger, malnutrition, and poverty in a sustainable, environmentally and climate responsive way. Most importantly, based on the finding of the joint country portfolio review take place on the 4th February 2025, fully attended by country stakeholders. A number of key areas were presented and discussed with proposed priority for the IFAD 13 and the new COSOP, namely one is addressing high rate of poverty and malnutrition by strategically supporting food and nutrition security through nutrition education in the poorest areas of the Laos PDR. Second is leveraging IFAD's expertise and know-how in agricultural technology for smallholders, develop pro-poor value chains and commercialization build resilience to climate change and establish market linkages. 3, prioritizing investment in rural infrastructure, expanding road access, irrigation and water supply system, and lastly, ensuring access to the inclusive financial services, which is essential for Laos. Once again, allow me to jointly thanks IOE and IFAD and on country development partners for continued technical and strategic support and partnership. And I also look forward to continue to build the next chapter of our collaboration together to significantly contribute to rural development in the Laos PDR. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Dr. Pomi. Next session is about future direction for IFAD country strategy and program. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Lakele Arches, IFAD Program Officers and Task Manager for Laos PDR, to share IFAD reflection on future direction for IFAD country strategy and program. Over to you, Lakele.
Thank you, Sullivan, and good afternoon, Excellency, distinguished representative of the government of the Laos PDR and the Independent Office of Evaluation of IFAD, colleagues and partners. Thank you very much for gathering here today, both in person and online. This country strategy and program evaluation, as said by many of you, has been a very good opportunity and timely opportunity for us to reflect on what we have achieved and what we need to do better in the course ahead, alongside with the current cost and completion review that we have also carried this year. All of you during this interesting conversation have highlighted a lot of important aspects. So I will try to reduce my speech also in the interest of time, because we are beyond the schedule. And I would like to try to focus on the recommendations that IOE also showed in the presentation by sharing the replies from IFAD that IFAD and the government has actually discussed also last week. And I would like to briefly share for each recommendation our reply. I will start with the first recommendation on establishing an in-country presence, for which IFAD, which also discussed with the government, we partially agree. While we recognize the importance of a sustained and visible in-country presence, the decision to station a country director in any country is driven by a prioritization exercise conducted by IFAD and based on portfolio size and future business opportunities, among other criteria. While the current size of the portfolio in Laos doesn't envisage a CD-led office, as we call it, IFAD is however committed to reinforcing our local engagement, including through the potential appointment of a country program coordinator whose feasibility will be assessed, and maintaining consistent involvement from the country director or representative delegated like me in our case, who are currently based in Hanoi. Regarding the second recommendation, which regards the co-financing partnership, we agree and we believe we are already implementing it. A coherent strategic approach that aligns with national priorities and leverages IFAD comparative advantage is essential. And we have already underway this cooperation through PIXA, as you also said, which in PIXA we collaborate with ADB and GIZ, and AFN2, which is going to last until 2030, where we collaborate with WFP. On the third recommendation, which is on enhancing the sustainability and the inclusiveness of farmer groups, again, we agree, and we are already deepening our support for inclusive farmer organizations, as also discussed very deeply during today's dialogue. We are also deepening the support for women leadership, market partnership, and financial inclusion through EFN2 and PICSA additional financing. But also, as we said, we are starting the design of the new COSOP and IFAD 13 this year. And these aspects that were also highlighted by OE are being taken into consideration by our design team together with the government. On the fourth recommendation on climate resilience and natural resource management, of course, we strongly agree. These are central pillars in the new COSOP and IFAD 13 pipeline, as also highlighted by the government in today's discussions, including the mobilization efforts. In fact, we are aiming at GEF9, and I'm glad to have heard also from more colleagues, to support communities with limited land access, among others. On the fifth and last recommendation on increasing transparency in operation cost, we believe we've been already implementing this action and we have concrete progress, especially during the past few years and the last year in particular, through the operationalization of the online project procurement end-to-end system, the open system. So project financial ceilings are now reflecting procurement plan and annual work plans and budgets submitted for IFAD review for no objection, and they are quite transparent in clearance. In terms of M&E across ministry, we are also implementing that by the continuing support that we are doing to PROMISE, which is an integrated monitoring and evaluation platform under AFN1, AFN2, together with MAF. So this is the brief reply to the recommendations. And looking ahead, as I said, the new COSOP design, which is starting now, and Dr. Pommi also said we have the mission actually starting next month from the 9th to the 20th of June, as well as the IFAD 13 will reflect these recommendations and also the highlights that came from our COSOP completion review. We will build on the lessons, what works, and we will also learn from what didn't work and do differently, together with the government and based on their valuable experience and guidance. Once again, I would like to thank the Independent Office of Evaluation for its work and insights. It has been, even personally, a very enriching and learning experience. And I thank, as usual, the government of Laos PDR, MAF, and all the ministry for your trust, your partnership, not only during this process. We know we ask always a lot from you, but from every single day, and for your partnership. And of course, a big thank also to IFAD management and the Laos team, the colleagues. I see also some PDT colleagues joining today. Thank you all for working with us for Laos PDR. I let now the floor to Mr. Barros, Ambrosio Barros, who is the country director for Laos PDR and the head of the MECO multi-country office, for the closing remarks. Thank you very much. Kopchalalai.
Thank you very much, Lakele, for the remarks. Next is a closing session. I'm very honored to invite Mr. Ambrosio Barros, IFAD country director for Laos, to deliver opening remarks. Over to you, Mr. Ambrosio.
Thank you, Sullivan. Excellencies, distinguished representatives of the government of the Laos PDR, colleagues, development partners, and members of the evaluation community. It's a pleasure to be with you today and to speak following the presentation of the country strategy and program evaluation, as well as the rich discussions. First, let me express my sincere thanks to the Independent Office of Evaluation for their analysis, and above all, to our long-standing and trusted partner, the government of Laos PDR, for your leadership and continued collaboration throughout this evaluation process. I would also like to thank each of you for your presence and contributions today. Your insights continue to shape the direction of our partnership in meaningful ways. As our regional director rightly emphasized earlier, IFAD finance projects are government-owned. They reflect national priorities, and it is in that spirit of shared responsibility that we look to move forward. Today, the CSPE has given us much to reflect on: strong progress, valuable lessons, and a clear direction for the future. Building on today's discussion, first, climate resilience must be integrated across everything we do, from project design to policy engagement. Smallholders are the front line of climate impact, and we are actively engaging with partners such as the GEF and ASAP to strengthen their adaptive capacities and resilience. Second, partnerships and co-financing must be even more strategic. During the new COSAP, we will continue to mobilize strategic complementary financing and technical expertise, aligning more closely with national systems and planning frameworks. Third, the evolution of farmer groups is critical. The model is evolving from agricultural production groups to more formal, inclusive cooperatives with strong governance, access to assets and markets, and connections to key services. The PICS additional financing and AFN2 are already laying the groundwork, and the new joint COSAP as of 2026 will deepen this approach. Moving forward, we will deepen our support for inclusive, well-governed cooperatives that are truly connected to markets and services. We also see Laos PDR's experience as relevant beyond its borders. The country's innovation in nutrition-sensitive value chains, inclusive producer group development, and community-based climate resilience all this offers important lessons for other small but strategically important portfolios across the Asia-Pacific region, but also beyond. We will continue to promote cross-country learning and collaboration in these areas. In closing, I want to reiterate that the design of the new COSAP starting next month will be a collaborative process. This will ensure that the COSAP is fully aligned with national priorities, informed by today's discussions, the CSPE and COSAP completion review, and shaped by insights from project participants. Thank you once again for your engagement, your insights, and your partnerships. We look forward for continuing this journey together. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambrosio, for the closing remarks. Next, I'm very honored to invite Ms. Sifong Umavong, Deputy Director General, External Finance Department, Ministry of Finance. The floor is yours, Ms. Umavong.
Thank you, Sullivan. Mr. Indian Naidu, Director of IOE IFAD, Mr. Linala Lasas, Regional Director, Asia and Pacific Division, Department of Country Operation IFAD, Mr. Ambassador Barros, IFAD Country Director for Laos PDR, representative from government, line ministries, concerned colleagues from country development partner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and also my co-chair, Dr. Bumi. On behalf of the government, I would like to express our sincere thanks to the Independent Office of Evaluation and IFAD for the comprehensive country strategy and program evaluation and the national workshop held today with the full attendance of all key government, line ministries, concerns, and related country development partner. I am pleased to note that during today's platform, we were informed on the important finding the first evaluation country strategies and program evaluation for Laos PDR. Covering 13 years of engagement between IFAD and the government from 2011 through 2023. We also engaged in insightful discussions and have the resulted in the key strategies and the technical recommendations and the suggestion on this one key reference for continuous practical and realistic planning exercise for improved implementation of our partnership projects between Laos PDR and IFAD, and to serve a key input for IFAD's 13 consideration, namely the new COSAP for 2026 to 2031 design that will start in mid-June this year. Based on the country's strategy and program evaluation, again, I am happy to note that the IFAD had been one of the Lulu development champion in Laos PDR with comparative advantage in its experience and expertise of the smallholder agriculture technologies, improving nutrition, building resilience to climate change, and developing a proper values change in the partnership with the country development partners in line with the government decentralization policy. IFAD had constantly taken steps to transform the smallholder sector in La PDR from business into the business-oriented direction. Again, the government of La PDR is in full agreement with the five recommendations of the CSPE and will continue to work to cooperate them in our strategy thinking, realistics, and the practical planning to the support upcoming development of the new COSOP and a partnership project in the pipeline. To more specific, allow me to highlight the key action related to the five recommendations. First, the government strongly recommend IFAD to reopen its former fiscal country office in Vientiane for closer partnership and full engagement in our country policy dialogues based on the comprehensive field experience from EXO project implementation and management on the land of the domestic area. Second, the government strongly support the idea of the fostering co-financing partnership with ongoing and the new multilateral and bilateral country partners, international financial institutions, and other development projects for more grant financing and technical support to maximize the impact benefiting the rural poor and smallholders farmers. Third, the government strongly support redefining the approach to ensure the sustainability and inclusiveness of the farmer group with continuous support the target farmers under ongoing and future projects with access to the finance for fiscal investment, linking the farmer with the bank and the potential microfinance, private sectors, and the market for mutual support and benefit. Fourth, the government strongly support the government to more robust approach to climate resilience and the natural resources management with cooperation of this area into upcoming SUCOP and the IFAD 13 program design. Also is crucial to jointly mobilize grant support from other grant resources such as SUP, GAPSP, GFF, and others fund to strengthen climate adoption, investment in interventions, and the natural resources management. Last but not least, apart from already a functional M&E system and project level, at the project level, sincere thanks go to the IFAD for the support and promise FMIS system development at the MAP is key. Note that MAP will continue to fully develop is under APN2 to serve MAP business and mandate with key information and ODA project for the coordinate planning and synergies and the complementaries. In addition, related to the operational cost, is the key to note that had been had been a transparent system for the reporting operational costs through the project progress report in the IFAD open system, and for sure structures capacity development will continuously support it to the project management team. Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On these key occasions, on behalf of the government, again, I would like to express my utmost gratitude to the own, namely Mr. Andren Northwood, Director of the Independent Office of Evaluation, Ms. Levana Lassa, Regional Director as Asia and Pacific Division Department of the Country Operation of IFAD, Mr. Ambassador Basos, IFAD's Country Director for Laos PDR, and Ms. Lassos, Access Task Team Manager for Laos, who makes themselves available during this crucial workshop today, providing much needed strategic guidance, update information, and support as always. And I would like to extend sincere thanks to all key country development partners for their continued support and partnership. So may I extend my best wishes to all the delegates for good health and success in your valuable support for development. Thank you.
Thank you again, Ms. Sumawong, for the closing remarks. Next, I'm very honored to invite Dr. Indran for the closing remarks. Over to you, Dr. Indran.
Thank you very much, distinguished representatives of the government of Laos, representatives of IFAD's partner institutions and international organizations, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. The IEO of IFAD has undertaken an impartial and evidence-based evaluation of IFAD's country strategy and program in Laos. I believe that today's candid and engaging discussion has provided better insights in view of translating the evaluation findings and lessons into actions for greater impact of IFAD engagement in the country. Moreover, I hope that it has also provided valuable inputs for the finalization of the agreement at completion point, a short document that will summarize the main evaluation recommendations and follow-up actions agreed upon by the government of Laos and IFAD management. I also believe that the recommendations will be used to finalize the new country strategic opportunities program, or COSOP, between IFAD and the government of Laos. We are very pleased that the recommendations have been largely accepted. As we are concluding today's event, which has been a clear success given the high turnout, I would like to iterate my gratitude to the Laotian government officials for having participated in this event and the seriousness with which you have attached to this event. I am thankful to all my IFAD colleagues, especially Ms. Rihana Raza, Regional Director, and the IFAD country team, represented by Mr. Ambrosio Barros, Head of the Mekong Multi-Country Office, and Ms. Rachel Achese, Program Officer, for their contribution to the effectiveness of this event. I also thank the project implementation teams and the development partners for their fruitful collaboration throughout the evaluation process, including this workshop. To all resource persons who provided insights as panelists during today's discussion, I do express my sincere appreciation. Finally, I warmly thank all of you who have participated in this event. Some of the key points observed today include the importance of promoting smallholder agriculture for both self-sufficiency and market-oriented production while addressing environmental and poverty concerns, the importance of continuity in country management and presence of for portfolio coherence and policy engagement, and the country programs push for greater collaboration with established partners and government agencies, making IFAD's work more productive when addressed in the context of collaborative efforts. The need to improve programs' efficiency, implementation speed, and the capacity to measure its impact and results. IFAD's project success in reaching out to an increasing number of women, strengthening their voices, representation levels, and reducing their labor burden. The importance to improve sustainability of project initiatives, especially for small-scale infrastructure and climate resilience. And government's demonstrated ownership of its cooperation with IFAD, exercising both central and local oversight through vigilant steering committee and active operational management. I hope that today's workshop will spark further exchange and discussion among stakeholders of IFAD-supported country programs in Laos, enabling a greater impact in terms of rural poverty reduction and inclusive and sustainable rural transformation. I thank you for the attention and declare the workshop closed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indran, for such a very comprehensive closing remarks. It's key to note that the meeting has come to an end with success and fruitful discussion. Last but not least, allow me to thank all the management from IOE, IFAD, the government of Laos PDR, as well as our related country team partners for full attendance and inputs. So may I wish all of you all the best, success and prosperity. See you again very soon. Over.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Hope
And
to
a
see
big
you
thanks
Thank
to
you.
Sullivan.
Soon, I hope รวมกัน Next, from here, allow me to suggest for a group photo and then followed by coffee.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are proceeding for group photo session. Please kindly turn on your camera.
Please keep your camera open and then we can have a group photo together.
แขกผู้มีเกียรติมีแต่ขอให้ท่านเปิดLadies and gentlemen, online participant, please turn on your camera for group photo session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. So the session finished and our photo session also finished. Hope to see you again next meeting and in Laos. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All the
Bye.
best.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.